Different builds for different instances, what I use and why. Let's go. So different builds for different instances. Now, I guess for most people it does make sense, but there's a lot of people that still generally run the same builds in PvE or in PvP. So they might have like one PvE build and one PvP build. I generally have 3 PvE builds that I run with daily that I swap out depending on the instance that I'm playing. And I wanted to share these with you today. So the first one I'm going to share with you is Lodo. So this is a build that I use for Elder Rifts. I sometimes use it in dungeons. Generally, Elder Rifts is where I use it the most, and also Terror Rifts occasionally, as it gives me quite a lot of movement speed, and I can basically deal a lot of damage with this as well. Now, I called this Lodo simply because I was being lazy when I created the build, and I started typing a name for it, and then I thought I cannot be bothered to come up with a name for it, so I just deleted the UT part of loadout. So that's why this is actually called Lodo. I have a lot of people ask about this, and yeah, so I'm showing you the build on the screen now so you can see exactly what is in this, what the essences are, what the skills are, and the paragon. If you want to have more time looking at this, take a screenshot or pause the video so that you can look at it in a little more detail. But I'm going to show you this in action now as well. So we're going to go and head into an Elder Rift for this, and while we're here we might as well try some luck with some crests as well, because it always makes things more interesting. And I am already capped on my Elder Rifts for the week, so I've got my maximum of the, already forgotten what they're called, the things that you get to create eternal crests. And here unfortunately I've got the worst example to show you this build in action, because we have got the, oh my god, how have I forgotten what it's called? You can see what I've got, the one where it uses my life to actually use my skills. Worst example to be able to actually show you this in an Elder Rift. That's my fault for running crests. But this normally is really, really fast to run through Elder Rifts with. And it kind of, you can normally just get an Elder Rift done within 30 seconds, I find, when I use this build normally. Obviously today is not going to be like that because of sacrificial power. That is the word I was looking for. So yeah, we have sacrificial power active in this rift, which makes things a little bit more difficult. But it also takes bosses down really quickly, as you can see there. And let's hope for a white beam, even though that's not what we're here for. We have got a white beam, so that's always promising. Hopefully it'll be the sellable one, or it'll be a gem that we actually need. But yeah, this Lodo build, I'll show you another run. Might as well try another run. Oh, we've got blood flow, which I do need. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Blood flow, cold confident, everlasting torment, heartstone, misery elixir, havoc bearer, 2 fold grasp, and 2 surging sea. Not completely awful. So I'm going to run another rift, but without any crests, so that we can actually have no modifiers, and you can see this build in proper action and see how quickly this actually works in Elder Rifts. And oh my god, no, I'm not doing this map. Why is it that whenever I try and film things just go wrong for me? This is my life, guys. Every single time I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be a nice simple video to show you. No, Hellscape map, not gonna happen. Hellscape map, I just avoid at all costs. This one isn't much better, but hopefully it will give you an idea of how this build works. And you can see I've got the attacker stance active from my warband buff, so I'm actually smaller, so you can make this even faster if you go for the protector buff. Depending on what remnants you have, that often increases your size, and that will increase your movement in turn. So you could always go for that instead of attacker. I just have attacker active because that's what I generally use in most different instances. But you can see really quick to actually defeat mobs, and also to take down the bosses. So 22 seconds to complete that Elder Rift. So there we go. Finally, we have a decent example for this. So yeah, this is the Lodo build, one of my favorites to use. And all of these builds I do actually have individual videos for, so I'll link that in the caption to this video, so that if you want a more detailed look at each build, you can do that from the videos in the caption. But yeah, let's move on to the next build. So the next loadout that I regularly use is my farm loadout, and this one is what I've got on my channel as lazy build equals easy life, and honestly this is one of the easiest builds to play. Again, this is what the build is, so if you want to pause this video you can have a look here. As I've already mentioned, I will also link it in the caption for this video so that you can see the full build in full detail. So this build is so nice to play with. It is super smooth, it is super chill compared to the others, and I actually like to use this for error ban. So we're going to run an error ban with this now, so I can show you exactly how this works. Now I do also use this if I ever take part in open world farming. I generally circle farm, I don't do the AFK farming, I don't really see the point, and as a mobile player and someone that has to use their mobile regularly, I am not really able to do AFK farming anyway. But yeah, it doesn't interest me. I'd rather actually just circle farm and enjoy playing the game. So this build, as you can see, super easy to work with. You can make it even faster as well by activating the protector buff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the warband here, and this will increase my size slightly more as well. There we go. And this makes it even faster to work with. So I really like this for error ban because you can run through pretty fast with having this active consistently, and it's just a really nice build to play with. It's very stress-free. You're not having to smash buttons like with the other ones, and you can basically just cruise around like I am and yeah, enjoy your time in game. I do sometimes use this for dungeons. If my thumbs are aching from smashing buttons with one of the spam builds, I generally will go and swap to this and then continue my dungeon farming, because it's just, as I've already said several times, super chill to play this build. Really nice and easy to play with, very user friendly, very good for people that are new to Wizard, I would say, because it's just a fun play style for anyone really, because you're not having to think too much about what you're doing. You're kind of just activating the Sprite Spark essence, which is Lightning Nova skill, and cruising around, and that's basically it. And you can see for error ban it's super easy to run with. Don't really have to think about what you're doing. Sorry, as I said, Vinted, a girl's got to sell her things to make her money for Diablo. I'm only joking when I say that. I actually sell stuff on there just to help pay bills, but you know, I like to keep it raw with my content, and most of my stuff is pretty raw and just honest with how it is. So yeah, error ban, super easy with this build, farming build, or for anything where you just want to cruise around and have more of a chill gameplay, then this build is one that I would recommend for that. Really nice to play with, good for beginners, and yeah, just easy to work with. So definitely another build that I use regularly. I use this every week when I am farming my weekly gems. So I farm all my weekly gems solo in error ban, and yeah, this is the exact build that I use every time. And I basically just open enough chests like that to get to danger level 8, and then I leave, and that is what I do every week for my weekly gem farm. Super chill, super easy to play with, a lot of fun, easy movement speed, and you're not having to think about pressing buttons. You're literally just cruising around in your own time. So that is the second build that I use a lot in PvE. Let's move on to the third and final build that I use, why I use it, and what I use it for. Let's go. So the third and final build we're going to be looking at today is Nedra's build, which I do have active, but it's not saying that it's active for some reason. So with this, you'll have seen this recently in my videos. I did cover this quite extensively. I will link it in the caption for this video, as with the others. And I know what you're probably thinking. I have a few different loadouts saved here. Yes, I do. Some of them I don't use very often. Orof's loadout, I really want to be able to test that to its full potential. The issue is not having the Meteor Eternal magic on the gear that is needed for that. So yeah, I don't have the resources. I do not have the stockpile of Terra Essence to actually just keep re-rolling gear. I've been using any spare platinum on things like normal gems, on copies of 2-star gems that I need, because I'm obviously testing different 2-star gems in things like PvP. to get the maximum gem synergies, get the best gem synergies going. That's something that a few people have kind of commented before. I get comments on here all the time like, well, I do more damage than that. Good for you. That's great. I'm just bringing videos to try and help players that maybe aren't doing as much damage as you. Instead of bragging about things, why not make guides and help people? That's my 2 cents on that kind of thing. So yeah, if you do more damage than me in dungeons, in whatever, good for you. I'm proud of you. Well done. But yeah, there's no need to kind of highlight that in the comments unless you're going to actually give some helpful feedback to the Diablo community. I see it too often, people bragging stuff. Anyone can say, oh, I can do this, I can do that, without actually having solid evidence proving that in my comment section. So yeah, don't be that person. As I said, I just wanted to highlight the builds that I'm using and what I'm using them for. And yeah, just to showcase several builds in one video basically, without actually going into all the details unless you want to see it. So as I said, all of the information, the in-depth information for these videos is going to be in the caption, or just take a screen grab of the actual build, the shell of the build. Obviously there's things that you need to remember, like having the eternal magic active on gear. This build really relies on having 4 pieces of the black hole eternal magic. It makes a huge difference to this build, and some of the other builds have the eternal magic active as well, which you'll see in the videos for the specific builds. So just bear that in mind. And yeah, I thought I would just make a video showcasing several builds in one go to highlight the importance of having different loadouts for different instances. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you use any of these builds. Let me know if you're running with multiple builds for different things. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Official Diablo Partner.